everybody. Welcome to another Punk Perspectives. Today I get to talk about one of my favorite genres of punk rock, the Celtic Punk or Irish Punk. And the song I'll be doing today is called Streets of New York by the greatest Irish punk band to come out of Canada, the Mahones. And I got no other than Finny McConnell from the Mahones here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And so like I said too, I wanted to jump in and talk about Streets of New York, but I did have some questions kind of like off bat first. One, your band, is it true it got started on St. Patty's Day? Is that rumor mill or is that just how it came about?
No, that's the real truth. Yeah, my friend Barry Williams, who was basically my musical mentor, because when I was a kid, he used to give me he used to play in my dad's bar, right? He's a drummer in a band. He used to play at my dad's bar when I was a kid, and he used to give me Thin Lizzy records and Rory Gallagher records and things like this, and really inspired me as a young musician, and giving me this quality Irish music to listen to as a young musician. And we were both from Dublin, Barry and I. And anyway, so when I was 20, I moved to England when I finished high school, because I studied classical music for 6 years, and I wanted to be in a band like the Clash, not an orchestra. So I moved to England, and the first person I met there, I swear to God, not lying to you, was Joe Strummer in the lobby of the Regent's Palace Hotel when I arrived. He was there
Holy
at the
shit.
Clash Bar too. So I was like, this is a sign. This is a fucking sign. And I also walked into the studio, Elephant Studios, while the Pogues was recording Rum Sodomy and Lash by accident, because I was next door in Sleazy's rehearsing with my punk band. So that's another sign, I mean, these are the signs of me in London, But um, where was I going with that now?
Just kind of how that started then as an Irish or on St. Patty's Day as an
Yeah,
Irish
yeah,
punk
yeah.
band.
All right, yeah. So I went back so that's what happened. So I moved back to Canada, and I just seen the Pogues in London at the Hammersmith Palais, and I didn't like Irish music that much before. I lived above an Irish pub called Muldoon's that my parents owned for
Mhm.
12 years. I lived above the pub, and so I heard, Danny Boy and all this stuff every fucking day, Whiskey in the Jar, and I was like, it's okay, but like the bands that were playing it back in the 70s, it was all like very folky,
Mhm.
you know, uh, ring dibba doo dibba da, what for the daddy? Yo, there's whiskey in the jar, that kind of, approach and stuff, nothing like we do today, the
Mhm.
Irish pub thing. And so I found that, kind of boring, and I saw the Pogues there, and it changed my life. So when I came back in 1990 to Canada, the same fella Barry who gave me the records for the Thin Lizzy and Rory Gallagher when I was a kid owned this Irish pub called the Toucan that he built. And he said, like, Finny, will you do me a favor and put together an Irish band for me for St. Patrick's Day? Just for the
Yeah.
one-off show, kind of thing. Because I know you know the music, so I gave you all the fucking records when you were a kid, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And kind of like so. It's like, all right, we'll do it.
Mhm.
And that's how it started. So I got a Dubliner songbook. Literally got a Dubliner songbook.
Yeah.
Remember, I give it to my dad, and I say, Dad, check off all the popular songs. Because my dad owned the pub for 12 years, and he was a singer himself, and so he just checked off all the ones I should learn.
Yeah.
These are the ones, son, that we all like, you know. And I made a set list, uh, learned the songs, did the one gig, slayed it. The phone rang ever since. Here I am, 35 years later, touring the world, headlining festivals everywhere. So it was just a complete accident.
Yeah. Yeah.
Complete
So
fucking
let
accident.
me,
But I
was
was
it
meant to
like,
be though. It was meant to be though, because I bumped into fucking Shane and Dingwalls, and I went into the studio and it was in Wapping in East London, where the Sleazy's was, and Sleazy's rehearsal studio was joined to Elephant recording studio, where they made Rum Sodomy. So I was in the
Mhm.
fucking building, and I heard the Irish music. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I just stick my head in the door and have a look, see what's going on. And I asked the guy who's playing. He's like, it's a band called the Pogues. I'm like, I've never heard of them. You know what I left? Simple as that. What's the chances, though? You know what I mean? So, I saw a lot of signs when this happened, and I'm
Yeah.
like, let's face it, I wanted to be in a punk band, and now I'm in an Irish punk band, and people are really, really liking it, and I was resisting it, but I was like, maybe I should follow the yellow brick road because it seems that people want me to sing this Irish music, punk rock style. 'Cause I was in a punk rock band when I formed the Mahones.
Yeah.
That's why the punk rock sound came from. I was
Yeah.
already a punker. You know what I mean?
It sounds like you were there then in the mix of like the starting of the, like you said, with the Clash and like like that late 70s
I
when
was right
was
there. Yeah, I
happening.
met them all in London all the time. I met Joe Strummer. I met Mick Jones. I met fucking Paul Simon. I met Shane McGowan. Yeah, I was there from '85 to '89. So I left right when the Happy Monday scene was starting, and the all the rave scene and ecstasy stuff. It's like it's not my bag. So
Yeah.
that's when I left. But I was there for just the post punk the beginning of Irish punk, Celtic punk. I was there for that. And then when Joe met the Clash, I was there for that, and I was there for the good goth years. I was a goth, right? I was a goth, so I was
Oh
in there
wow.
all the finest goth time. The
That's
Cure and the fucking Boz, and God,
yeah.
it was good,
That's
really
funny.
good time.
Let me ask you the follow up then on that. So I guess was it the end of that night while the show was happening, or a little bit after when you realized this could be a long term thing? People want to hear me play this, and you had fun.
But it wasn't really the end of that night so much because I really did think it was a one-off, and we
Mhm.
drank a lot of whiskey that night. I don't even remember the end of the night. To be honest with you, I don't even remember that decade. To be honest with you, too much because when I ended up to Mahones, it's like, so you're telling me the booze is free?
Oh well, that's so
You can
funny.
imagine. If you listen to songs I wrote in the '90s, there's a lot of drunken this, drunken that kind of lyrics, and it's like because it was true. Fuck, it was like they were just
Yeah.
handing me the shit left, right, and center, and I was drinking it like you wouldn't believe. I didn't slow down until I had my kid in 2000. Then when I had my kid, it's like okay, time to sober up and be a good dad, and write more serious music
There you go. There
about
you go.
helping people
That's awesome.
instead of drinking every fucking night, you know. But that was really fun. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a good time.
So what was the scene like then? Because I know with my generation, like it really kind of got big. Like my introduction to I kind of grew up with the same thing. My parents always played Irish music for me, but I kind of found it boring, lullaby-ish. But then
Yeah,
drum kit
exactly. Yeah.
really got it big, and then that punk infusion. Then I discovered the Pogues, and the Pogues really messed me up. And then I just got into you guys and just
Yeah.
tons of other Irish punk bands too. So I guess in the '90s were you, especially in Canada, right? Were you guys like one of the unique bands at that time? What was the perception
Well, we
in
were
the
kind of we were kind of like loved and hated. Like I remember in the beginning, I remember one time when we played at McGann's in Boston, we emptied the fucking bar. And this is Boston, like they didn't like it at all. This is like
Ugh,
fucking years before the Murphy started, It was like, we came in there and fucking, had the amps and everything, cranked it up, and they're like, this, a lot of people didn't like it at first.
okay.
And I used to say that the joke about that was Great Big C, we get all the good gigs, and we wouldn't because they were like the nice guys, like Bon Jovi or something, and we were like the replacements, and everybody fucking hated us. You know what I mean? But we were creating a genre at the time, right?
That
And
was
I didn't even really know that we were doing that at the time, because we were heavier than fucking the Pogues.
mhm.
And I came from a pure punk band. I was listening to Husker Du. Like
Okay.
I was a heavy guitar player, and I loved Husker Du and Ramones. They were my favorites. So like what I mean. So that's where my head was at. So you can see how the Irish punk came. It was just literally being a punker, playing the fucking songs punk style. You know,
Yeah.
even faster than we were playing them faster than the Pogues, faster than everybody, And we were doing that on purpose because we wanted to be like the Ramones. It was as simple as that. We were set out when I knew I was going to be in this band,
Mhm.
and I started writing the songs for it. Instead of writing songs for my punk band, I guess all the songs I wrote for my punk band were the ones that ended up in my band Ultra Bomb that I was in for a couple of years. So I just quit
Okay.
last year, but I did the first 3 years Ultra Bomb. I wrote the music for the first two albums. And that's where all that music came from all my punk music I never got to use. I had tons of it laying around.
Oh,
So that I couldn't use in the Mahones. But anyways, yeah, I didn't know what was happening. You know,
yeah.
no idea. You know,
That's interesting. So yeah, I want to get into yeah, lyric by lyric with you with the Streets of New York from the Rise Again album. And so I guess
this is
one of the first questions on there too. So did you actually, is this song partially true? Did you live in New
this is
York?
all true. This is all true. There's only a couple songs that aren't true, and what was "Drunk Lazy Bastard" is kind of true. It is about my cousin Rory, but he didn't steal my wife.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
not true.
Yeah.
In Drunken Night in Dublin, I didn't have a blackout and ended up in Galway. That one up. But
Okay.
I've been to Galway and Dublin 1,000 times. But every other song is true. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let me go with this first stanza here. And because I want a question on that first one. So song starts off with, well, I remember the days on 204th Street in the Bronx, New York, where everyone would meet Friday night and we packed up the streets and everyone waited for Rory.
There he is again.
Is it
Drunk
this? It's
Lazy.
the same Rory.
Yeah,
Same Rory?
yeah. He's my cousin Rory. He looks like me. He's like my doppelganger, but he's bigger than me and taller than me. And
Okay.
sometimes he shows up in pubs and people are like, fucking Finny was here last night. I was like, no, it wasn't me. It was my cousin Rory.
Yeah.
He's a
Okay.
real wild man. He can pretend to be me sometimes too, down at the pub when people don't know better. And oh yeah, he's a wild one. And so I write a lot of songs about him. I love him.
Okay. That's good enough. So
He's
it's the
my
same Rory
older cousin.
from Lazy Drunken
He's
Bastard, which was my gateway to you guys, by
he's
the
the
way. That song.
bricklayer. He's the one that moved to New York.
Mm.
Uh, he's the reason I was there. We first started touring around the world. We first started touring in New York. Our
Yeah.
first tour was in New York. We went down for a month and we did like 30 gigs in 5 boroughs. You can tour actually in the fucking city. That's how big New York is, right?
Yeah.
There's 5 boroughs.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So we toured all 5 boroughs. We did like 30 gigs in a month, just over a month. And that's where I wrote the song from, coming out of that song. 204th Street was in the Bronx, New York. It was the Irish street. It was like a main street of this little Irish village in the Bronx, where
Mhm.
where all the bars were.
Yeah.
Both sides of the street, Irish bars, all the way up and down. It's like fucking New Orleans.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Did
Yeah,
you
and
ever
that's
go
why I
there?
got I like this song too because I'm in Phoenix now, but family grandparents from Ireland went to New York and you'd hear about the old days, but it was they'd moved to Staten Island and stuff later on, but it was like back in the day they would talk about like the Bronx was just
Yeah,
like
it
all
was the
Irish.
place. It was all Irish.
Yeah.
Man, you could go there and they had Irish pubs that have like little after hours booze can Irish pubs. So you
Hmm.
go to the pub, that if you know the knock, like
Yeah.
like whatever it was.
Uh-huh.
You get in the fucking pub, drink all fucking night long. I slept on the floor a few times.
Yeah.
You get up in the morning, you go get a full Irish breakfast inside the door. The restaurants would be open. It
Yeah.
was crazy days, crazy days.
Yeah.
The IRA guys were all down there, all kinds of shit. It was like Little Ireland. It was like
That's
really,
what it
really.
was. What's weird about New York, sometimes you can go in the streets and stuff, and this sounds like you were in that Bronx area to where like, yeah, there'll be a street and it feels like you're in,
This
Dublin or
was this
Ireland or
was
something.
crazy. Like Little Ireland. They moved up to Yonkers now, apparently. The
Hmm.
Irish, but this is back in when the Bronx was Irish. Well, this part of the neighborhood, anyways. Really wild times, and I was really fortunate to be there and witness it. And the second album, Rise Again, was basically written a lot about that time in New York. That's why it's got a picture of New York on the cover, a painting in New York that we did on the cover. Because it's really inspired by New York City. And
Yeah.
the same with Hungry the Park Part 2 was also inspired by New York City. New York City's a magical fucking town. Do
Yeah.
you know it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, I have family in Staten Island and stuff, so I would go there. And like, what was cool about it too, and I want you toured. I'm curious on your side. Like in Phoenix, it seems like there's no real Irish neighborhoods, nothing like that. Just kind of family here and there. But in New York, you could get that actual community and feel, which
Toronto's
was
like that
cool.
too now. Like we there used to be an Irish neighborhood here at Cabbagetown, but
Hmm.
it's all gone. People, the Irish all spread about, so we don't really have much of a community here, which is sad.
Hmm.
Montreal is much better, I think, for that. But yeah, New York is great. But even once again, it's all broken up there now too. The Irish community, it's not like it used to be. I'm doing a new TV show called The Westies. I'm singing one of my songs in it
Yeah,
called Back Home off my solo album, and I'm acting in the movie or the show, whatever. And
nice.
it's with the Hell's Kitchen, New York.
Hmm.
That's why I took the job. I was like, oh yeah, I'll be in that fucking show. That's totally up my alley.
Yeah, yeah.
that's why.
Oh.
That's why I'm all about. I've always been an Irish bad guy. But yeah, Streets of New York. So 204 Street. Back to you. That's the main drag. I was waiting for
Yeah.
Rory. Rory, I would go down to what would happen was I would go down to the bar. I can't remember what it was called now. Fuck. Did I sing it in the song? The name?
Well, let's go into the next stanza then. Let me see if I can pick your brain on the next
But
one.
I said I'd wait for him to get off work because he's a bricklayer. So I'd be waiting at the pub.
Okay.
Everyone's
Okay.
waiting for Rory, and always show up fucking late.
Yes. And that's so it goes. So we went down to the 20s to shoot
There
some
it is, Rory.
pool.
The Roaring Twenties. It was called something 20s. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. And then this is a question who this guy is. And there I saw Rocky acting the fool.
yeah.
Rocky a friend or
Rocky was one of Rory's friends, and he used to play pool at the club all the time. An old Irish fella, and so I met Rocky through Rory, and that's what that's about. Yeah,
I love that call out too. And I'm happy that finding out is more and more true. This is great,
yeah.
man.
It's all true. This song, every bit
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
And I think the next line kind of explains for itself. He had a few too many whiskeys on his dirty bar stool, and everyone's cheeks, they were glowing. So everyone's getting tipsy, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, we're filling up at this point.
awesome, awesome. Okay, and then the next sentence is what stands out again. And I
This is this would be one of the pub. This would be one of the pubs we drink before we go late night drinking. Okay, this is the bar we start at.
mm,
Okay, get it.
got
So
it.
this is the one we go to first. Wait for Rory to show up there, and then the night goes on. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
yeah, and I
is the
imagine you
starter
guys.
bar. It was a big, very big bar. It was a very big bar, 20s, and it had like bands, live bands, and pool tables and all that stuff.
Okay,
One of
okay,
the
I
hot
like it.
spots on 204th Street.
Yeah. All right. The next stanza goes, for so long to all my friends,
Yeah.
fare thee well, we'll meet again. And then au revoir,
Au revoir. That's French for
French.
goodbye.
Yeah,
I
so
just
French.
said it for funny because I'm from Canada.
Oh, okay. And then Irish Americans on the streets of New York, sayonara,
Yeah.
again with another language change there.
For the
All my friends.
Mexicans, there's lots of Mexicans there.
Okay, okay.
Right?
So
So
yeah,
I just throw it in like Irish, Mexicans, Canadians, farewell, or au revoir, sayonara.
that's what I was curious
It's
about.
just
So it's very
multicultural.
intentional for the mixes of
Yeah, the
languages,
multiculturalism of the situation.
that melting pot there.
Got Irish, Canadians, and Mexicans.
Yeah.
There's lots of Mexicans down. I love Mexicans. They're great.
Yeah, yeah. Very
Also,
similar, I think, in cultures too. With we have the Catholic, Roman Catholic type of guilt stuff that goes on. I've noticed
they
a lot of
they
similarities.
suffer the same stuff we do.
Yeah,
They
um,
suffer from the same guilt we do. Yeah,
yeah.
I
And I
gave
want
up
to ask
that.
you,
I left that cult a long time ago.
of course. Um, so I have a question on this part too, because it's funny. My wife actually argues with me on this because my wife's European, um, and you have this thing for Irish Americans, and so her kind of take on it is like, unless you're born in Ireland and then become American, you're not Irish American. And I'm like, I think it's you grow up with it. So what's your take on that bit? Like, what makes an Irish American, Irish Canadian in your view?
Well, this it comes in different levels, and the Irish are not very supportive of it either. It's like I'm one of those lost at sea Irish, whereas I was born there as a baby, then plucked out of the country and
Mhm.
raised over here. So I'm not really considered Irish by the Irish, even though I was born there. And I'm not really considered Canadian by the Canadians because I'm not born here. You know what I mean? You know,
Poor
I've
orphan.
ever seen something about the girl Shirley Mansion from Garbage. I don't like Garbage, but I like Shirley. And
Hmm.
she mentioned something like that just in an interview the other day. I read it. I got the quote. It's like, fuck yeah, that's me too. Because she left
Hmm.
Scotland or whatever. And so she doesn't get treated like like a real Scot anymore.
Yeah.
She lives in America. And in America, she's not fucking American because she's fucking take a Scottish accent you ever heard, you know? So,
Hmm.
like, you kind of, feel that way sometimes. So that's how I feel a bit about it. Well, what's the question again?
I guess the question on that is, what's I guess what constitutes the Irish? Like, do you think it has to be like raised there and brought up there, or can it be just heritage and how you're actually raised, whether that's in Australia or the States? Like, what makes
No, you can be, you can be, well, let's say to be born in Ireland is, to have Irish blood, pure
Mhm.
Irish blood is, one thing. But if you're born over here and you have North American blood, you're still Irish.
Yeah,
Of course you are. And you're raised by an Irish family and you're raised by the Irish lingo and you know all the fucking Irish
yeah.
stuff
That-
that Irish parents will teach you because, we are very community orientated. And so, yeah, like, I see bands like the Tossers
mhm.
from Chicago, who I love them. I think they're great. And fuck, you think they're off the fucking boat, They're
There
fucking
you go.
Chicago boys.
Yeah, yeah. I think that
Tony's accent is
perspective, that's
Tony's
very,
accent is very Irish, and that'll come from his parents.
yeah,
His
yeah,
parents probably had thick fucking accents, and he learned to talk like that. You
yeah.
know, and you think he's from fucking Ireland if you met Tony. Like, but he's Chicago Irish, which is
Yeah.
is Irish too. Like it's very Irish community down there in Chicago, like in New York and Boston,
Hmm.
San Francisco. There's certain spots in America where the Irish liked, to go. And
Yeah,
like I said, it was definitely Chicago was one of them. And yeah, Tony's got a very thick Irish accent, so it's like, yeah, you can be very Irish and not be born there.
yeah, yeah.
If
I
if
think it's
you're
something
raised
hard.
if
Like,
you're
unless
raised by
you're,
Irish people in an Irish family, like grandma and mom and dad, aunts and uncles and stuff, it's just you're just in a different piece of land, but those people are all the same.
yeah.
So you're going to learn the culture, whether you like it or not, from your
Mm.
family, right? And your family like to keep the culture going, so they're going to teach you the music, the food, the fashion, fucking name it. You're going to learn it all. And like I said, then like I said, I bumped into like some Chicago Irish guys, and I thought they were fucking from Ireland, and they're fucking Chicago Irish. And so yeah,
Right.
I think you can be very Irish without being from Ireland if you grow up with an Irish family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like because the Irish family is like an Italian family. We care a lot about each other and
Mhm.
look after each other. Unlike the Americans and Canadians who send their parents to warehouses to fucking die in their old. We
Yeah.
don't do that. We keep them at home, and we keep them at home and look after them because they looked after us when we were growing up. So we look after them when they get old. It's kind of an Irish Italian thing. It's like the circle of life. You know,
Right.
we
Right.
don't
Right.
ever
Yeah.
ship people away.
Yeah. I
Like
think it's a hard perspective unless you like grew up in North America or maybe Australia. It's hard to understand how much of how those communities form here and stuff. It's just I think
Yeah,
it's
well,
hard for
The
them.
Irish are very, very community orientated and very family orientated and very
Mhm.
loyal too. So yeah, I think definitely you can grow up in an Irish neighborhood and be very Irish kid and have Irish parents and Irish aunts and uncles and grandparents and fucking have an Irish fucking accent. Not even fucking be from Ireland. I've
Yeah.
seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah. Thank
You
you.
know.
I'm gonna take that back to my wife and say,
Yeah,
see.
I've seen it with my own eyes. And listen, I came over as a 1-year-old, and some people think I'm from Ireland. Well, I
Mhm.
am from Ireland, but some people think I like have an Irish accent. I don't have an Irish accent. What I have is a fucked up language that I was taught by my family and friends and Irish aunts and uncles and whatever. So I know all this fucking Irish lingo mixed in with my North American. English. So I
French.
I can speak to fucking Irish fluently, and I can speak, North Americans no problem. So I can kind of slip in both ways, you know what I mean? Because I was raised by Irish people, right?
That's sweet. Yeah.
Raised by them.
Awesome.
So I don't know
And I
any
think
different.
again, I like that line too. All the and the intentionalness of the mix of the languages too, which brings that very strong American, New York, but Irish feel in this song and that stanza.
Well, New York was the land of hope and dreams. It's right.
Mhm.
It's where everybody went as immigrants to find work. And even Mahones, first place we went to find work. Like it's just that special town. It's
Yeah.
where Ellis Island was. I wrote a song about it on the Hunger in the Fight album called Skeleton Sea. It's like
Yeah.
it's Ireland's gateway to North America.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an important town, and one of my favorites in the world, absolutely. And it's so I love that town, and I got a zillion stories to tell about it. But anyways, continue on with the song. Let's go through the song, and I'll tell you what it's about.
Uh, Love it too. Thank you for this.
It's
Okay. So
funny you say that, 'cause I just put this on the set list for this year too. I haven't
did
played it in
you?
a few years, and I just went on the set list this year for the 35th anniversary shows.
Hell
I should
yeah.
pull that song back out. Everybody's always asking for that one. Everybody likes it. I just played it too many times, so I got sick of it. That's all.
That
But
makes
I
sense.
miss
I
it now.
mean,
I know it's one of my best songs. I do know that. So
yeah. Well, it brings this real strong feel. Like I said, my gateway with you was Least Drunken Bastard, but then this song caught me because it felt like I said my family was Irish from New York.
yeah,
So when I go, it just really it's done so well. This song, um,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's what it's about. It's about community.
Okay, so I'll go to the next stanza here, and then I like this one. Oh, we got our cash. We went to the bars and we drank till we had too many jars. I checked out the scene, and that I saw were stars.
All I saw was stars. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay. Well,
everyone
that means.
started to roll.
And then the what? Started to roll.
And everyone started to roll.
Okay. So it means we got paid on Friday.
Mhm.
The boys, Rory and Kako, and all the guys there that I hung out with down in New York, they were all construction workers. Okay.
Ooh.
So there's another song on the album called Down the Boozer, which is about them specifically. But so they get paid Friday, and they usually get paid around lunchtime. But the construction guys tried not to pay them at lunchtime because they knew they wouldn't come back after lunch on Friday if they paid them on Friday. Right? Fucking Irish guys, right? So they get paid on Friday in cash. Okay. So they go down the bars with the cash and basically spend the weekend at the bar and then be broke on Sunday. You know.
Yeah.
So what's the lyric again? So I might went to the bars.
Yeah,
Six.
yeah. Went to the bars and we drank till we had too many jars. I
Yeah.
checked out the scene. All that I saw were stars.
Okay. So that means we drank so much that all I saw was stars.
Yeah, yeah.
Get it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, yeah.
And
That I
then
mean,
we started to roll, which means rolling up spliffs.
oh, okay. I thought it was actually meaning like we were about to end kind of end of the night. No, so it's actually rolling this.
Well,
Okay.
we're rolling to another place in the next verse, the booze can. But that one, rolling movement, we were smoking spliff stuff. But
Yeah.
but you could have used it as a way of rolling out of the bar too.
Because
But
yeah, because that's how it goes into the next stanza kind of goes into so that's why I thought now it's cool. I love that. I'm happy we're picking.
no, we were rolling up on the way to the next bar.
Yeah, yeah. And so
So we split it
the
up because the next bar, all the bars were on the same street, right?
mhm.
Yeah. So we were drinking up in this one. This is the starter bar. I told you, 20s,
Right.
where everybody would meet up, have the big sessions, and then there was another great one called Possibilities, and then there was another really good one, the Phoenix. Yeah, that was across the street from 20s where we played a lot.
I wonder if they're
Possibilities.
still there.
The 20. No, it's all gone. No,
Oh
fucking all
God.
there. It's all like all the Irish are gone. They've left.
Yeah.
It's no Irish left there now. It's a ghost town of the Irish. But it's like I think it's like Mexican or neighborhood now or something. But the Irish went. I do know they went to
Yonkers.
Yonkers.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just check out Yonkers now. It'll be like a cleaner version of that. It won't be as nice as the old days. This is old and grubby looking. You know,
Okay.
the,
Okay.
this the Yonkers is all shiny and clean now.
This and that's what I love about that the fact that you're in the Bronx too. Like I said, they always would talk about these old days of the Bronx and stuff. Like I said, that my Irish New York family they moved to Staten Island. They all kind of
Yeah,
branched out, but you would hear about this just
It was crazy, man. I remember
Yeah.
one time. I remember one time I seen this guy walking home from the pub just covered in blood.
Oh,
Head to
damn.
toe in blood. It's like I think to myself, have you ever seen anything like that in your life?
Just
Ever? Only in an Irish neighborhood. He was walking like he was nothing.
casually walking, just beat.
Just covered head to toe in his shirt. It's like looked like some of those horror movies. He's just walking fucking down the road. Doop de doop de doop. And I was like, only in fucking the Irish neighborhood will you see fucking that fucking crazy shit. So anyways, what's the next verse? So yeah, we're getting kicked out of this pub. It's closing
Yeah.
down. We're rolling up. We're rolling up, about to roll out the door.
Yeah. The clock struck 4. They locked up the door. We
Yeah, that's the
danced
booze
as
can
the
down next
bartenders
door.
poured us more.
Yeah, so this is at the After Hours Irish pub. I forget the name of this one now.
Yeah.
So the clock struck 4. Yeah,
They locked the
doors
door.
closed. They locked the door in. So it's kind of an Irish lock-in.
Hmm.
That's when you get the lock. You're special when you get the lock-in.
Yeah.
Only the top drinkers now get locked in the pub.
And so that's true. So they would close their services, and then you just be able to still drink in the bar on the house of the
If
owner
they liked you.
if they liked you.
If didn't, yeah. Only they said you have to be a top drinker to
Yeah.
get
Behave
served.
yourself, I'm sure.
Yeah, you have to know how to behave yourself. You have to know how to spend the money and tip the staff and entertain the people and all that stuff. And if you're one of those kind of people, you're in.
Yeah.
That goes around the world, though. I would go to Irish bars in Amsterdam and Germany, everywhere around the world. If you know the knock, they give you there's a special
The-
knock, right?
oh,
Whatever the
gotta,
knock is.
gotta teach me that knock.
Well,
Well, I guess it's
it's
different
different per pub, right?
Mhm.
It's a code. It's like a IRA thing.
Yeah.
So you learn the knock and you go down the bar. I was doing them in Europe and everywhere. Yeah, fuck, it's the same. The Irish do it everywhere. Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
We don't want
Wow.
to. We're not stopping drinking just because the government says so.
Yeah, that's what I love about it makes so sense too. I think with Irish punk, it's like to me, it's always been like Ireland's almost like the punk culture of European cultures, if you will.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're warriors. We fought fucking everybody and we survived. No one not could take us down, and we don't take nobody's shit. And so like,
Yeah.
who's gonna tell us to stop fucking drinking? Gotta kid my ass. Fuck, Jesus Christ. That's the way we look at it, right? So we
Yeah.
drink. We keep on drinking. Look at every pub in the goddamn world is pretty much an Irish pub.
Hmm. Yeah. Or the
We
best ones
we
are.
we run the drinking culture. The world owes us. We brought you Jamesons, we brought you Guinness, we brought you Irish pubs, we brought you Irish music. Come on,
Hmm.
we're fucking owed. So if we want to have a little extra drink, turn a blind eye.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Best
We
cheese and
invented the
dairy
culture.
too. Kerrygold, right? Come on.
Yeah. So that's what they did down there, these Irish pubs. The cops had turned a blind eye. They knew that fucking everybody's in there drinking.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
cops are in there drinking. I've been drinking. I drank with the cops in New York many times. And
Yeah.
Boston. You know,
Hmm.
they fucking the Irish cops are a different kind of cop. They're one of the people. They're not like these bully cops you see here in the States these days, and these ICE guys, fucking, KKK people, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
They're nothing like that at all.
Yeah.
Irish cops are very different because Irish cop is part of a community
Hmm.
who looks after the community and the family and friends, and you trust him. It's like an uncle, right? I remember I had one when I was a kid and come down the bar all the time. And every time he'd see me on the street, he'd always like walk up, Finney's, freeze, you're under arrest. Just kidding you. My parents, Irish cop, always embarrassing me in front of everybody. Like, good cops,
Yeah.
part of
Yeah.
the community, right? So they'd be in there drinking too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
We have good
Um,
cops. There is good cops out there.
yeah.
And like I
Yeah.
said, like a lot of Irish cops, a lot of Irish do the job as a cop and a fireman, just because they're community orientated.
Hmm.
And so
Yep. My dad's a firefighter. It's just
there
kind of
you
what
go.
we
Yeah,
do.
it's just an Irish kind of thing. And said Irish people tend to be very good people, and because we care about each other and we
No
care about
doubt.
our community and we care about our elders and our children a lot.
Yeah.
You don't
Right.
fuck with our elders or children because we'll come fuck you up big time. You know what I mean? Like we're very protective of family, and so the cops were pretty good for the Irish.
Yeah.
They cover up for the IRA guys. Everybody, you know,
Yeah.
they wouldn't throw you in jail for having a drink as long as you behave yourself, and you know that kind of thing. So it was a really nice community.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what happened there. So that's where we are in verse 4 here.
Oh yeah, yeah. So halfway through it. So then the next couple lines kind of speaks for itself, I think, but you tell me. And we danced and I drank and I fell to the floor. We all headed home in the morning.
Okay, yeah. So this is, we're dancing as the Irish do. We love to
Mhm.
dance
Yeah.
and drink and play music. So we're this is, 6 in the morning, I guess, at this point now, and we're dancing and drinking and falling down,
Yeah.
having enough. We were full of gargle at this point, as we'd say, full of the top of the drink. So
Yeah.
you're getting the rubber legs.
Oh
That's when you know
yeah.
it's time to go home when you get the wobblies. Irish are also good at policing ourselves and knowing when to cut yourself off.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so what happened there basically is we opened up the door and it was morning daylight. Come at the pub, and I remember there was a great Irish restaurant right across the street there, and we go in there and have a full Irish fucking breakfast. You
Yeah.
know, so you know what a full Irish breakfast is, right?
You tell me. I think I do, but I want to hear you.
It's sausages, black pudding, bacon,
Mm.
beans,
Baked
potatoes,
beans. Yeah.
got everything on the fucking plate. Just
Mm.
fucking everything. So we go in there at 6 in the morning. We eat this big Irish breakfast, and then we go back to Rory's apartment because he lived just around the corner in the Bronx, and we go crash out
Yeah.
at 6 in the morning. So that
Right.
was how the night went. So
And
we
that'd be kind
started.
of how the weekends would
So
get
it basically
spent.
went, yeah. Basically, we started the 20s. We go to the Phoenix. We go to Possibilities, and then
Mhm.
we end up in the after hours place. Maybe it was Possibilities is where we had the late night drinks. That could have been the place. Yeah, I think it was Possibilities actually. No, yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah. So that was the strip, and we used to fucking drink. And we were also the Mahones, so we got treated a little extra special.
I love it. Yeah.
We're allowed in just because we're in the fucking band.
That's
And
awesome.
they
Yeah.
all loved us down there
Yeah.
in the Bronx. Because it's funny, because that was the first place we made it. Because up in Canada, we had a tough time getting the gigs. And like I said, all the gigs were going to bands like Great Big Sea because they were like, clean, polite, Irish kind of stuff. And we're like, paint the fucking town red, drunken lazy bastard. Like the complete opposite fucking tone, right? But I only did that purposely because I was punk.
Hmm.
I was already a punk. So it's like, this is just like saying I'm so bored with the USA, the Clash. Like it was just natural, to go that route.
Yeah.
Not realizing that we were pioneering Irish punk at the time because there was no Dropkick Murphys. This was 6 years before Murphys. So
Yeah.
we
Only the
started
Pogues then
going.
probably at
It
that
was only
point.
the Pogues. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a band in New York called Rogues March,
Mm.
which Joe Hurley was the lead singer, and he was friends with Shane McGowan too, like me. He actually was the guy who introduced me to Shane McGowan back in the '90s, and they were doing it too. So if you ever check them out, they got a song called "Shut Up and Drink." Look them up on the internet because that was the era. So that was only, but they didn't keep going though. So
Mm.
they made 2 albums and then they disappeared. I think they get together for reunion shows, but we kept it going. We
Yeah.
wouldn't stop, and so we just battled against it. And then it was a tough for us in the '90s. And then I tell you, around the time the Murphys, what was that song? "Ship It Up to Boston." Remember that song?
Oh yeah, from The Departed. That's
Yeah, when that got into Departed, changed for everybody.
hmm
All of a sudden, the music was respected. All of a sudden, people were like, "Wait a minute, the Mahones are the pioneers." Next thing I'm in the fucking movie The Fighter. You
Yeah.
know, and got all these movies and stuff, and also people started liking the music all of a sudden.
Yeah. And it
And it was
also
like,
got
fuck,
thought
I've been
provoking
fucking doing this
too.
for 10 fucking years.
Yeah. Yeah, it was also thought provoking. Like I said, that was my gateway was Dropkick. Then I found the Pogues and then the Mahones, and I started like really loving it. And then part of that, like you even mentioned the IRA and stuff, is like you start I had to start reading about some of the stuff they're talking about. Like what happened here, and then it actually got you really like educate. This music helped educate you about what happened. You
Well,
know.
I'm thinking I was, Mahones. I kind of retired to Mahones a bit now. I've done so many albums. I got like 21 albums, and I don't.
Hmm.
Who needs another Mahones? I
Jeez.
can't even write a set list anymore. I can't even write a set list without leaving out a bunch of songs I wanted to play. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
like it's all hits now. It's like so we got into that point in our career where the set list is just all the hits. It's a full
Yeah.
fucking show, and I can't. I can't even play much of the stuff I want to play anymore because it's just too much of it now. So I was thinking on like maybe I shouldn't write any more albums. I've got so many, but maybe I should do something for. I've always said I wouldn't play rebel music, so I didn't want the war to continue. But now that it's over, maybe I
Hmm.
should revisit the rebel music to educate people, like you just said. You know.
It helped.
Because
Yeah.
if anybody, I come from an IRA family. My whole
Hmm.
family's IRA. My grandparents, aunts, uncles, mom, dad, everybody. I was asked to join, and I said no in the '90s because I wanted it to end. But I'm Sinn Féin, and I did a bunch of IRA benefit concerts for the IRA because I'm playing Irish music. So I helped the Tucson Six, and I helped the NORAID people and all this stuff. Of course I do. I'm part of the community. I have
Hmm.
to help, and the women and children of the families who lost their fathers and stuff. And, that was our army for, that
Yeah.
fought the British Army, right?
Yeah.
There'd be no Ireland without them, right? They'd be fucking England. We'd be called England. So,
Hmm.
people don't understand that it was our army and that people just got the bad news at the end about the terrorist bombings because it was
Right.
basically, as Trump would say, it's basically fake news that they were trying to make the IRA look like terrorists.
Hmm.
Okay. And, sure, there'd be a couple of bad things that went down, but, the Irish we deal with that.
Hmm.
Somebody did something bad, they disappear. You
Yeah.
know, what I mean? The Irish will take care of that for you. The Irish will police itself. So, there was some fucking terrorist blowing up children. Put it this way, he's not walking around the earth anymore.
Right.
That's the
Right.
way the Irish deal with that. It's in-house. We don't stand for that either. We don't blow up
Right.
pubs. We don't blow up children. That's terrorists do that, and
Yeah.
terrorists would have been dealt with by the Irish.
Yeah.
I believe now that people, because of all that fake news that went around during that time about, I hate using the term fake news, but that's really what it was. It was Margaret Thatcher twisting.
Propaganda. Yeah.
Yeah, Margaret Thatcher propaganda trying to corrupt the minds of the English people to make them sound like the Irish were, out to kill them, which was
Hmm.
never the case at all. It was the opposite, other way around.
Yeah.
So, I think I might do some Rebel stuff next year.
That'd be
Maybe
fun, man.
just do one album of Rebel songs of the ones that are important to me because I have all the records. My parents, I got them all from my parents. I have my
Yeah.
parents' records.
Yeah.
Vinyl records from back in the '60s. But seriously, I own the fucking things. So
Yeah.
and maybe I should do something like that. Not as not to rein, reinvigorate the fight at all, but more like just to educate the people
Education.
of the truth.
Right.
No fake shit here. This is the real story of
Yeah.
what really happened in Ireland.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think that'd be really good.
These are the songs that we wrote to survive this time. You can
Yeah.
hear it in
Yeah.
the words, like it's right in the lyrics. It's
Hmm.
written
All the
clean,
discrimination stuff that you learn
written as
about.
clear
Yeah.
as day. You
Oh
know
yeah.
what I mean? In those
Oh
songs,
yeah.
so the
When you read
songs.
about it, you start getting mad because you find out like they would the cops would the English cops would just or sorry British cops would just need to get someone or whatever, and people would just because they were Irish at the wrong place, wrong time, they'd be thrown in jail.
All kinds of that stuff happened. That was going right up until the fucking '80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was brutal. Even when I was living in England in the '80s, I used to get searched all the time
Jesus.
coming to the airports. Probably a good idea they did because I did come from an IRA family. So
Um,
they targeted me pretty good actually, but still I got searched all the fucking time.
yeah.
And I wasn't involved in anything, so I was fine. But
Yeah.
I got searched all the time, and I couldn't get a job with my name Finton. So I had to change my name James in England to James. My first name is James. So I
Okay.
had to get the only way to get a job in England in the '80s was by calling myself James.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
didn't use Finny and Finton in England. I used James and Jimmy. Isn't that funny?
Jeez.
Yeah.
That is. That's, I think a
Good
common
fucking
slur for
name.
some too, right?
That was
Yeah.
in the 80s, 85
Yeah.
to 89. I had to change my name to get a job.
Oh,
And that was
geez.
kind of weird. And I just pretended I was Canadian, even though I look completely Irish. I told them all I was a Canadian, and I got jobs. But there was a lot of fucking discrimination even in the fucking 80s. But
Yeah.
then, the world's a fucked place. Look at the USA today, right?
Oh yeah.
Look
Yeah.
what's, look what's going on. And like what's going on in the USA today was way worse than what was going on in the 80s.
I mean, we're stripping citizenships from people. That's
You
crazy.
guys are the worst I've ever seen in my lifetime right now. I've never seen this ever. So
It's
it's crazy. Yeah.
yeah. It's uneasy.
Ev-
I'll
ev-
say the most.
Oh, I
Yeah.
bet. Everybody's staying away, Nobody wants
Mhm.
to go. I don't
Oh
blame
yeah.
them. All my European friends, they won't go. All my Canadian friends, nobody wants to go there. Nobody wants to go right now.
Yeah. That's funny. Me and my wife talked about like maybe we should move to Ireland. I was
Yeah,
like,
I know. Don't Irish phone. The phone's been ringing off the hook in Ireland. Trust me, you're not the only guy with that idea.
Yeah.
But well,
Um,
hopefully you guys will take care of your country and get it back.
yeah, yeah. Luckily with Ireland though, I should check that out. They made it since if I think it's you have to your grandparents had to have been Irish, but they make it actually easier to become a citizen for Ireland,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is pretty cool. One of the few countries I think that does that. So,
yeah. That's right.
mhm. Um, quick question too. So on this song, do you remember was it music that came first, or does the lyrics? What's your style typically? Do you write lyrics or music first?
I have a style. And
Yeah.
it's nice that you asked that because I have a style. I'm a what you call a mass songwriter. I write the whole album at once.
Holy crap!
I
How long
see
does that
it
take?
as I see it as like a mini book
Yeah.
with a beginning, a middle, and an ending. Right?
Okay.
Album. I'm not like a singular songwriter.
Okay.
I'm the producer and I play most of the instruments on the albums. I'm the Pete Townsend of the band and the wizard, and the wizard
Right.
of the knobs, and that guy, the weird guy
Yeah.
who makes all the music. But yeah, so I write them in mass. So that album was supposed to be about New York,
Right.
right? And my adventures down in New York. And which was really where we started making it, and which was really, learned a lot about life, and it was just a really good time for me. I saw crazy ass shit that you shouldn't see, and like
Yeah.
everything you can imagine. It's New York, man. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So the album's killer. So I guess your style of it, do you think of them? Do you get the music for, or like do you just kind of
So
compose
what
it
I do is I
all?
write the music in mass. I do the album. Okay,
Okay.
here's my style. I do it like a book. I decide I'm going to make an album, and I'll come up with a working title for it, and that one was going to called Rise Again, and that was because I just done Dragging the Days, and Dragging the Days was a very big album for Mahones. It was
Hmm.
like one of the first Irish punk albums, so it got a lot of bad reviews by the journalists, but the fans fucking loved it. Now the reason it got bad reviews because Mahomes, all our albums are like the number one album. Right? Well, the first one we got a lot of bad reviews, and that's because they never heard anything like it before. They didn't know what to fucking think of it. So they were
Yeah.
all trying
I
to
didn't get
bash
it.
it. But it's our classic album. Everybody loves that album.
Love it. Love it. Yeah.
So I knew the reviewers were just being mean. I could tell right away. Like by reading the reviews, like, okay, they don't even know what I'm doing. They got no clue what this is about, and
Right.
they're just trying to make pick on it because they're lost at sea.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I was up to. I'm making this fucking Irish punk mad shit for these fucking people who like to drink and party. Well, that's what it was at the time. The people who wanted to drink and party hard and listen to my wild songs. That's what I was
Yeah.
creating at the time. Basically, it was punk music for Irish people.
Right.
Was what my idea was. Chaos in the Irish music scene.
Done so well. Yeah.
And yeah, so I write the title. So Rise Again, man. I'm rising again after this whirlwind of madness from Dragging the Days. So it's time to rise again. So make another album. That's where the title came from. Okay.
Mhm.
I would write all the 10 titles or 12 titles out. I'd write the titles out. So that's be like a chapter of a book.
Oh shit.
See?
Okay.
So each title has the idea of what I'm going to tell the story about. Because I'm a storyteller, lyricist. I don't use
Irish.
I don't use beat poetry and stuff. I'm actually Irish storyteller. So my songs will have a beginning, a middle, and an ending. So everyone will be a story basically.
Yeah.
And so I'd write out the titles, right? And then I do the music next for the songs. And I always make the music like, okay, the opening's going to be nice and wild, they can bring it down a little bit in the middle, for everybody to have a little break. So they can end it on a big high note again. I see
Yeah.
it like a set, like the book is like a set list. So I'm going to take you on a journey through the album, right?
Yeah.
And then the last thing I do is I do the lyrics. I just
Okay.
fill in the lyrics because this
Yeah.
time I've been working with it for a while, and know what I know where the music's going. I know where the story's going to be. I know what the theme of the album's about. So by the time I finally do the lyrics at the end, I always do the lyrics last. Uh, I'm very comfortable in what I'm doing, and I'm just basically filling in the notes, just filling
Yeah.
in the story. So that's how I do it. It's a very different style than other people do it, but that's just the way I've always done it. And you know what? I was classically trained, so I can hear music in the big picture. I was the leader of my orchestra. I played trombone, first trombone, and so I'm used to playing with 50 instruments, and I can hear all the ideas in my head and stuff like that. And like even when I'm making a track, all you hear is like the basics, drum beats and stuff, and people are like, "Oh, just sounds like a loop of a drum beat." It's like, trust me, wait till you hear it. It's done. Wait till you hear what's in here. I know what's going out, so I can see very far ahead. You
Yeah.
know, I can hear the finished product in my head before I've even made it. You know, but
Yeah.
that comes from experience, though, right? That's why I'm a good record producer, right? I've been doing it all my life. I started recording when I was like 12 years old. You know,
Jeez, man.
oh yeah, well my mom bought me a Fox X15, and it was like, let's go, And I've been doing it all my life, and that was probably the best gift I ever got was get my first tape deck, And it's like I've always been the recording guy of the band, the songwriting guy, the producing guy. I love that end of the music business. I
Yeah.
love creating stuff. Having an album is like having a baby.
Yeah.
It comes from a seed of an idea to a birth of a beautiful product
Yeah.
that will last forever, And so I take them very seriously, and I see them as an entire piece of work, not just a.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to go down the rabbit hole, check out my Hunger and the Fight album. That's my double concept Irish album.
Okay. 100.
Part one, side one's about Ireland, Dublin. Part
Yeah.
two about New York City. When
Love it.
when it gets yeah, I did a double concept album all about Ireland.
And so they're almost all concept albums in that way, how you
The
said you
whole
write
thing is
stuff,
right, and
which
I did that because I wanted to do my own like the Who has Quadrophenia and Tommy,
Mhm.
and the Pink Floyd has the Wall. I wanted to have the Hungry to Fight. Like I wanted my own concept because I see things so big. So I
Yeah.
made a double concept album. Yeah. So the one you're listening to now is just about New York City, the village. But that one's about the whole story.
Now you got the
That's
whole
when I
thing.
went deep. Yeah, I started off with the first song of the album was Brian Bruce's Battle March, just the Last King of Ireland. I started with the Battle March and I end up with playing Stiff Little Fingers by the end of side two.
That's so
So
badass,
I
man.
do a concept of the sound of Irish music from the very beginning up to
Hmm.
today, and then I do a story of the Irish from right from the beginning up in Dublin up to today in New York. You know, I sing about JFK's assassination, all kinds of stuff. I went deep into that one.
I love it.
Yeah, but yeah, but Streets of New York is like I said, that was the time
Hmm.
when things started happening for us, and it all started in New York. And there was a saying that I remember that kind of stuck with me. If you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let's go make it in New York first, and that's the first place we made it was in
And
New
you
York.
did. You did.
Well, I figure everybody else in Canada, all these Canadian bands, they just keep on touring Canada all the time, and they never get big outside of Canada.
Yeah.
You know, and I always feel sorry for them, you know, this like the list goes on, it's a very long list.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not gonna do what they do. I'm gonna start outside of Canada. So I'm gonna start in New York City, the
Yeah.
fucking town that everybody says is the one to make it in, you know, Frank
Yeah.
Sinatra's town.
Yeah. Thank God you did, man. Yeah.
And man, like we were touring there for the first album, right? Regular
Mhm.
Day. So that's why I got the idea to write the second album about it. Because I was spending so much time down there. It inspired me. There's so much
Yeah.
to write about. It's like what a great town. Like yeah, I just loved it. It's not as fun as it used to be though.
Yeah.
Now,
It
now
really
you go,
comes through in the album though. Yeah.
yeah, now you're going. Now you go there and it's all fucking. You know, it's been gentrified.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's just not as nice. And it's even Brooklyn. You know, it's gentrified. It's not like it used to
Yeah.
be. All the artsy vibes are gone. And so it's all
Right.
Starbucks now and shit. You know.
Yeah. So
But
Finny,
back in
I want to ask you this. I know your time is valuable. So, one of those questions, kind of like what you're leading into, you're touring a lot right now. So today, outside of Ireland, of course, what would you say, which city has probably the best like Irish community that you've seen?
ooh, mm,
It's a hard one, huh?
it's tough. Boston's very, 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 very loyal to their Irish. You know,
Still.
Boston wears on their sleeves, on their sports uniforms, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So I'd say Boston maybe. It's not my
Boston's too.
favorite place. I much prefer New York, but the New York Irish scene is very much scattered. The Toronto one's completely disappeared. Like it's very
Chicago.
scattered here. It's sad, you know. And which bums me out, you know. But anyways, Montreal's got not bad, but I'd say Boston. Yeah, Boston's most proud
Boston.
Irish, sure. New York second, Chicago third.
Chicago third.
Yeah,
Okay.
then California down in San Fran's pretty
Yeah.
wild down there too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't Philly still have a little bit, or do you not notice it
yeah,
much?
not so much though, not so
Not
much.
much.
But
Okay.
Philly's a wonderful town. They got wonderful people.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're nice people in Philly. I
Okay.
love Philly. What a great town. They're so kind there, eh? You know, I just
Yeah.
people are so welcoming.
Yeah. And in Canada, you said Montreal?
Montreal's pretty good for the Irish. Yeah, I think they still got the Irish mob up there too.
Love it.
Yeah, Montreal, they got a big parade. Yeah, there's a lot of Irish stuff going on. I think they got the mob up there still. The Irish mob, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's not one in Toronto. You know, in Toronto, we got some nice Irish pub here. We got a few little IRA bars. You know, where you can go find the right crowd if you want, and you know,
Yeah.
it's
All right.
not much going anymore. Like,
Well, Vinny, thank you so much for doing this for me. I love it. Hopefully in the future, if you got time again, I'd love to do another song later on down the road. So,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, like I said, like do yourself a favor, check out the Hunger and the Fight album.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I said, the first 10 songs are about Irish Dublin, and the last 10 are about the New York end. And it's the two concepts were I want to show you what it's like the Irish folk music, how it turned into Irish punk music. So the
Yeah.
songs get louder and louder as the album goes on. By the end, it's full on punk rock. In the beginning, it just starts with fiddles, you know. So I show you the evolution of the music. And the
Mhm.
second one, I showed you the evolution of the Irish man coming from Dublin to New York.
Yeah.
Sing about going through Ellis Island, all that stuff. JFK's murder. I tell the whole story, you know.
Right. Right.
And in the lyrics, then are more spiritual in that album. They're less like the one on they're less about the drinking and stuff, and just more about the fight
More
this time.
serious.
They're more
Yeah.
about the fight, the hunger of the
Yeah.
fight, you know.
Yeah. Which platforms
Prisoner
do we get your
1082,
music?
it's about my uncle Danny who jumped the wall in the H block. The IRA, he was arrested, jumped the wall in H block, broke his ankle, and made it to Dublin from
Really?
Belfast. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he married my aunt.
I
Yeah,
got the lucky enough to go to Belfast and see the wall there and
yeah.
all the graffiti or
My
the
uncle
art I
jumped
would
it.
say on there. Oh man, it
Yeah,
trips you.
my
You can
other
still
uncle spent 12
see
years
the
behind that wall.
yeah,
My dad got away on the back of the truck. Yeah, they're all fighting today, right? Everybody was in it.
yeah,
Everybody was in it. My granddad was in the prison. He had because he used to keep you know artillery and bombs in his house.
shit.
You know, everybody it was a war, right?
Yeah,
And everybody
yeah,
thinks if you weren't fighting English, you weren't fighting. You gave up, right? So you
mhm,
surrendered, right? So of course everybody was fighting. You
yeah,
know, we had to. We wouldn't. Like I said, if my family and everybody else's family and our relatives and heroes and everybody hadn't fought, there wouldn't be an Ireland today.
right,
We wouldn't be having this conversation. There'd be
right,
no Pogues.
Yeah.
right? It would
Yep.
never happened. So there you
Yeah.
go.
That's why I hope you do that thought of making the
I'd
original
probably do it.
songs educational.
I got the albums in my bedroom right now, actually sitting at the end of my bed. I've been staring at them, so I
Yeah.
pulled them out of my record collection. So yeah, one's called Belfast Street Songs, and there's a few of the really old records. And it's like maybe I should just do this. You think I should, eh?
I do. I think it'd be very educational for some. I mean, I
Well,
think
that's
it's
what I thought. I
great.
thought because these days, every time I talk to somebody about it, they have no clue what I'm talking about. I thought, man, the kids
Mhm.
today just don't even know. Maybe I should do something so they can know. You know,
Yeah.
make it like just make it nice and simple for them. Just
And some of the shows still, like if you watch shows that try to talk about that area or whatever, like I had a friend the other day and they're like, oh, IRA, the terrorist group. I'm like,
that's because
that's a
the
different
British.
point of view.
Well, the British did the same thing that Trump does to anybody who
Talks bad about them. Yeah.
yeah, it makes them out to be the terrorists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the way it was with Thatcher too. Same thing. If you weren't with her, you're a terrorist, right? And
Right.
that's the kind of like the new administration's philosophy down there too.
Yeah.
Like, that's just it's the scare tactic.
Yeah. And they go through and they change the word. I mean, even the famine, it wasn't a famine, it was a genocide. Like, let's be real. Like
Absolutely,
all
yeah,
this stuff. Yeah.
yeah. History has been rewritten,
Hmm.
been whitewashed. It's been English washed,
Yeah.
and they're doing that in the states right now.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing
Oh,
that
yeah.
with the history books right now down there in the
Hmm.
education system. They're trying to rewrite it right now as we speak.
Yeah.
Get rid of all the slavery stories and stuff. It'll never go
Mhm.
away. You can't get rid of it. You can try, but like
Oh, yeah.
Irish kept it alive. The African Americans will keep it alive. Everybody will. Those stories won't go away.
And that's why I think the music's so important because
Yeah,
it's a fun
it
way
will
for
live in
young
the
people to
music.
get into
It
it.
will live in the music. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Maybe I will do it then.
I love it. I love it.
Good
Well, Finny,
inspiration.
I'll let you.
That's a good inspiration.
I'm
Thank you.
happy about this. Again, I really thank you for your time doing this. I really think for all the music you're putting out, and thank you for keep going on. You mentioned that too, how you have so many hits and stuff. But I think what you're giving to the world is just so important and it's so fun. And just thank you for all the music you're putting.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I just don't want to. I don't want to water down my music.
Hmm.
Everything I've done, I'm very proud of.
Hmm.
So I'm not gonna make it just to sell some music and make some money and cash in on the fans. I'm just gonna give you guys the best.
Oh yeah, it's very true and honest music
I don't
too,
want
man.
to I don't want to give it my fans or even the fans of the genre of music. I don't want to give them any. I'm not going to dial it in for them. It's going to be
Yeah.
a a plus plus quality all the time from me, from my house. Because I like to put music into the scene that inspires other musicians to be better. I don't ever like to sell out or cash in. I want to put high quality music into there to keep the level of the music high, like Shane McGowan did,
Oh
or
yeah.
the Dubliners did, or or in Punk the Clash did, or whatever, like, or the Who, like people I respect. It's very important to me to keep the standards high, so other bands would keep the standards high, so we don't live in a fucking shit musical community. You know what I
Thank
mean when I
you.
say that? You know what I mean when I say that?
I absolutely 100% do. That's why I love your music. It's
Oh,
not
thanks.
it's honest. I would say that.
Yeah, it's from the heart. Everything's
Yes.
fun, and I'm not embarrassed of any of it. The stuff
No.
I was embarrassed by, you never got to hear. Don't release that, Finn.
Oh shit, don't release that. That's
I
funny.
remember my ex-wife Katie Caboon had a song. There was a song on the Black Irish album. It's just some shitty song I wrote, and I played it to her. She goes, "That's a shit song." I go,
Yeah.
"Really?" She goes, "Yeah."
Yeah.
That's what I love. I love people who tell me the truth.
Yeah.
Because
Question, kind of into that. I want to let you go here, but one
no
last
worries.
question. Did you ever feel limited then? Like you said, you kind of came from a punk rock band. Did you ever like get a song in your mind, but you're like, that's not an Irish song. It's too angry or whatever.
Exactly. I sure did. And if did you know the band Ultra Bomb I was in?
No.
Okay, I was in a band called Ultra Bomb. I formed a power trio in 2001, and I left last year. So 2001 to 2003, I made 2 albums.
Mhm.
Oh, you didn't know about this, eh? Fuck. I was a super power punk, super group punk band because I wanted to play punk again.
Yeah.
So I played with the bass player from Husker Du,
I love Husker Du. Yes.
and I had the drummer from UK Subs,
Nice.
Jamie Oliver, and then me
Okay.
on guitar vocals.
Yeah.
And I played my Flying V and did pure punk. There's 2 albums. One's called Time to Burn, and the other one's called What was the second album called? Fuck, it just came out. We'll just go to Ultravon. That's medium punk.
Ultra
And
Ball.
that was all the music that I couldn't use from
Okay.
Mahones. I have like 100 tapes of it in my bedroom right now. Tons of music. I'm a writer, so I just write every day.
Yeah.
So so when I put this band together with Greg from Husker Du, I said, "You write the lyrics, Greg," because he wanted to write lyrics and he's a good beat poet. I said,
Hmm.
"You write the lyrics and I'll write the music, and then we'll meet in the studio and just smash it together." And we made 2 albums in 4 days. First one was in Berlin, Germany in 2001, and the second one was in London, England in 2003. Both albums, end of the year, top of the list. They're fucking beautiful. I love them. But I left the band, so they have a new drummer and a new singer now. They haven't
Okay.
made a third album yet, but I left the band to go back to Mahones because I wasn't making any money. After
Yeah.
3 years of being in the band, and all the money we made kept on going to the expenses of whoever was running the business, and it's like,
Oh,
I'm Finny
okay.
McConnell, I gotta get paid. I gotta,
Yeah, you gotta have a living. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta pay my bills. So I left. I went back
True
to
super
Mahomes to make
group.
money
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
But it was nice to go away from Mahomes for 3 years because I missed it.
Yes.
So
All
now I'm
right.
back to Mahomes now, and I really liking it again because
That's
I missed this.
and you're doing a lot of
Mahomes
covers
is,
of the Pogues now. I saw, right? You're having some.
well, because Shane was my friend,
Yeah.
and I did 2 tribute records to him. That's where the covers come from.
Okay.
One was the Mahomes did a live album right when he died.
Yeah.
We did a live recording in Toronto, and the gig was so fucking good. I'm gonna release it.
I
The
real.
whole audience was the whole audience was singing the songs with me. So it was kind of like almost like going to mass.
Give you goosebumps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like going to have a mass for Shane. It was like everybody was like crying. It was a very spiritual gig, and so I was like, I got to release this for people to hear it because it was so
Yeah.
spiritual, so special. So I'm gonna put that out. And then when I was in Germany this summer, I did a 10-song little solo album of my, just favorite songs of mine of his. I was sitting around the studio for a week, so I was like, yeah, I might as well do something.
When can we
So
expect it?
drop them both this fall.
Okay.
I'm getting all my records back from my distribution labels and stuff for all the years. I'm putting everything onto my own label now, and I'm just gonna for the rest of my career, I'm gonna sell my music through my company. I'm leaving all the labels I've been with all my life. I don't get paid for them anyways, so I
Hmm.
just want to get all my music in one place, so the money comes to me, and then I can give it to my kid when I pass on or whatever like that. So right now because I'm at the far end of my career, so now I'm getting my ducks in a row,
Yeah.
organizing my business, and anything I do now, I'll just do it for pure pleasure.
That's the honesty of it.
Like
People
I
can
said,
tell.
the Irish thing, that
Yeah.
project we were talking about. I'm thinking about doing that, but that would be pleasure to me to do it.
Yeah. I would
Right?
love it.
I do it because I know about it, and I find the subject very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like you said, people should know the truth.
Yes, they should. Yeah. All right, Finny.
They're not going to get it from the media, right?
They don't.
But
I
they get
don't.
it
I don't
from
know
the
if you see.
media.
Yeah, they at the moment they don't. Yeah. So,
Well,
but Finny,
that's what.
I'll let you go. It's I know your time's valuable
Yeah.
here. Hopefully in the future we can do another one. But
Anytime. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Thank
My
you
pleasure.
again. Really appreciate it. All right.
All right. Up the
Bye.
Irish. Check you
Yep.
off.
Yeah.